Today is a very special day, and as a fan of physical keyboard phones and intentional tech, you've probably come across the Bring Back BlackBerry movement by CrackBerry Kevin and his company Clicks. And as many of you assumed, he was actually cooking something up, and it's finally here, the Clicks Communicator. Yes, you heard that right. The people that created the Clicks case, die-hard fans just like you and me, and people that actually have a history with BlackBerry, created their own phone. And I read criticism about me that I'd be biased because I know Kevin and his team from Clicks. Hear me out. Yes, it's true, I know Kevin. I love what they do, I love their energy and everything they put into it. But what I say is my opinion, and it's my opinion only, and nobody can change that. So I hope I got that out of the way, and let's get to the video. This is the Clicks Communicator, a phone that, funnily enough, has been announced as the best second phone on the planet, and that the aim is to create the best communication tool ever. But before we get into the history and the idea behind the phone, let's take a look at it. So what do you guys think about the design? Well, I have to admit, at first I was kind of surprised that it doesn't look like the old BlackBerries that I've loved so much. The suit-like appearance, the silver frame, the black body, but CrackBerry Kevin had a good explanation for it, and I totally get it. He said that the world of business has changed. It's not only suit and ties anymore, but became a lot younger and colorful. And that is why the design is like a blend of both worlds. And the guy that designed this phone is actually Joseph Hofer and his design studio. And he was the one that was responsible or designed the Bolt 9000, 9900, the Q10 or the Passport. So all BlackBerries that I think all of us loved very, very much. But let's get to the phone itself. On the front, it has a 4.03-inch AMOLED display featuring a 120 Hz refresh rate, a 25 megapixel so-called hole punch front-facing camera, and below all of that, a QWERTY physical keyboard. So all of that already sounds so promising, especially because these are the guys that created the Clicks keyboard case. And if you've ever typed on a Clicks, you know that the keyboard feels magnificent. I think even better than a lot of BlackBerries that we had back in the day. It clicks, it's perfectly sized, but the keyboard is more than just a keyboard, it also features touch sensitivity, just like on the BlackBerry Passport or the Key 2 back in the day. So you can scroll through pages, content and more. And something else that reminds me of BlackBerries like the old Android BlackBerries back in the day, like the Key 2, is that they included a fingerprint sensor in the spacebar. And I personally love that because I always use the spacebar to unlock my phones, it being the iPhone in the Clicks case, the Sinwalk Q25 or my converted Android BlackBerry Passport. And with just clicking it, you also unlock it with your fingerprint sensor. I love that on the key devices from BlackBerry. Below this keyboard is what they say a perfectly sized chin to hold the phone comfortably, and also they packed, as they say, a good pair of front-facing speakers. And when it comes to size, judging from the press images, it has about the same size as a BlackBerry Classic, maybe a little bit wider. And I personally always loved that form factor. On the left side of the phone, you'll find the volume rockers and a notification kill switch, which is amazing since I love that on my iPhones, but they sadly removed it and replaced it with just a button. And it's so good simply seeing if your phone is on mute and not just having to flick through it just to be sure. On the right side, you'll find the real party piece, and it's like an homage to the OG LED notification light that we had on the BlackBerries. They call it the prompt key, and it's actually pretty useful. And if you're like me, you have to text a lot during the day. I love the text-to-speech feature that my phone has. And the prompt key lets you do just that. So you can just hold the prompt key while you're in a text input field, say your message into the phone, release the prompt key, and it'll send the message. But it can also be customized to do other tasks, of course, and they're actually working together with app developers to get more features behind that button. Surrounding this button is the customizable notification light, the so-called signal, and it's intended to not just constantly blink, but only light up for important messages from your favorites or special apps. And of course, it can be changed to different colors for different apps. On the bottom, it has a USB-C port, which charges the 4000 mAh silicon carbon battery. And on the top, you'll find the power button. And yes, you see that right, a 3.5mm headphone jack for your wired headphones. Amazing. On the back, it features a rear-facing microphone that can be used to record meetings, for example, while facing down, a removable back cover that can be changed for different colors or even leather options to make it totally yours. But sadly, there's no removable battery, and Kevin explained that in his article that I link in the description box below, that it would have made the capacity of the battery much smaller and the device much thicker. And it also has MagSafe for accessories. On the back, it also has a 50 megapixel rear-facing shooter with OIS. And yes, you heard that right, it's just a single shooter, so no lens for teleoptics or wide angle. But if it's a good camera, I could live with that. But of course, it would have been nice seeing a second lens. On the inside, it's running on a 4nm MediaTek processor, which they say is upper mid-range. And they say it should be more than enough, but we'll see about that when we have it in hands. Out of the box, it comes shipped with Android 16 and guaranteed support and security updates for up to 5 years, and they guarantee that they will update it to Android 17 and Android 18. And I think that's pretty neat. And speaking of security updates, it supports applications built on the Android Strongbox API, enabling secure storage and hardware-backed encryption. It also has a nano SIM card slot, offers eSIM capabilities for 5G network, and on top of that, you can also upgrade the internal storage with a microSD card with up to 2 terabytes of storage. And on my right, you'll now see all the specs at a short glance. It's running Android, as I said, and on a custom version of the Niagara launcher, which many of you probably know, and it's focused to be message-centric and productivity-focused and not distraction-focused. So what do you think? I think it looks very, very promising. And it feels like a phone that has been designed and built by fans just like you and me. And it packs so many features that so many of you have been requesting and wished for in my comment section for years, like the headphone jack, an amazing display with 120 Hz refresh rate, and more. And it feels like they packed everything into it one could wish for, and they just built it, and I'm super stoked for it. They want to position it as the perfect second phone. And the more I read about it and hear about it and think about it, I feel like it could be the perfect phone for me personally. I love my iPhone. I use it for work, I use it for media, it has a great camera, and it's just good and a perfect all-around device. But of course, it's a distraction magnet. And especially during the holidays, I've noticed how I just scrolled and scrolled and scrolled through dumb social media posts and got nothing done. And it just felt I was getting dumber and dumber by the second. And in the press images, they even show the communicator next to an iPhone or other devices to show you that it's a communication device intentionally made for communication and not for distractions. And if you want those distractions, you still have your private phone or anything else. And I like the idea because they say about 250 million people on Earth use 2 phones, and for them, the communicator could be the perfect choice. It'll be available for pre-order at the special price of $399 and I'll leave a link in the description box below where you can pre-order the device. And actually, I'll be flying out to CES in Las Vegas next week to check out the device personally and let you know what I think about it. And I'll also be meeting up with returning Retro Jake, you probably know his channel, and more, so definitely stay tuned for that content. So that's it for this video. Amazing stuff coming your way and our way. And I love what is happening in the world of QWERTY keyboards and intentional tech. Please let me know in the comment section below on what you think about the Clicks Communicator. Will you pre-order the device? I'm sure I will do just that right away. And let me know what you think about this video. Let me know what I should check out on CES in Las Vegas. Please follow me on my social media channels, Instagram and X, because I will post a lot there about CES and more. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and we'll see us in my next video. See you then. Bye.